Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Self-love through freedom and connection. So feel free to connect to the brave never fall on these social media platforms. If you find anything of value in this following podcast, hit that like button, subscribe and share, and support the brave and bold tribe growing one purposeful soul at a time. How are you feeling? Take a moment to do a self-check-in for yourself. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling spiritually? Are you feeling balanced? Are you still journeying on an intentional, purposeful path? How are you feeling? Balancing yourself is a healthy daily practice that will reliably keep you in harmony with your entire mind, body, heart, and soul. Clear your mind. Take a moment of silence for yourself right now in the moment. You are here now. How are you feeling? Self-love is an endless well of joy, peace, purpose, and happiness. Fill a bucket of self-love well water and enjoy. I often view water being so prevalent in any human being's life as a source of positive energy and positive purpose, because water has purpose. And water, as Bruce Lee said, can either flow or it can crash. And you should be water because you want to be able to conform to anything in life, to adapt, to evolve, to be ever present, to be the life force for not only yourself, but to other people you are obligated to show up for. So I always pictured a well of self-love, an endless drinking well of self-love where you can just pull that bucket down, grab as much of that beautiful abundance of water, pull it back up, and have your fill of joy, of peace, purpose, and happiness. An endless supply of it. And that's how I view every day. It's about replenishing yourself with joy every day, replenishing yourself with happiness, replenishing yourself with purpose. So you are invested in your own life. You're invested in not survival, but thriving. You go back to that well so you can continue thriving. You're not on your hands and knees crawling up to the well and damn near falling down into it, hoping that the bucket has something in there. You know when you walk up to that well, there's something down there. And I'm going to gain something from that. That's the type of positive things we want in life. Each day, finding a little bit of purpose out of the necessities of life. Your joy is a necessity. Your happiness and your purpose are necessities, and you have to be invested in that. Can't worry about anyone else. You have to be invested in your own peace. Apologizing. Very powerful indeed. An act of honor and humility. Most people do not grasp the magnitude of the phrase, I apologize. It's about ownership, accountability, discipline, self-respect, and integrity. However, saying you're sorry for improving upon a flawed version of yourself, that's weakness. You are telling and showing others you are living a life without purpose when you apologize for putting yourself first. You are lowering your value in life in order to align with people who are not invested in you. You aren't surrendering to the truths of who you are. You want to really apologize for something? Apologize to them that you are no longer accepting a flawed, damaged, undisciplined version of yourself. Apologize for not being able to have seen your potential early, much earlier in life. Apologize for not showing up for yourself when you were obligated to do so. For not being there for others you were obligated to show up for. But never apologize for your existence, your purpose, and peace. For these things make up the very essential essence of your purposeful existence. They are not meant to be apologized for, but celebrated. You have awakened. Never apologize for being woke. Again, for these things make up the very essential essence of your purposeful existence. Live to love, love to live. Episode 2. Never feel sorry for loving yourself. Explaining what self-love is to people sometimes is as difficult and as hard as trying to explain quantum physics to people. Because we live now in a world where people are defined by what they have around them. They're defined by what they have, and they're defined by, almost in a way, expectations. Like, we look at people and there's like a potential to everyone, an expectation of who you are. It's almost like when you go inside of a room and you start judging people. And as you get to know the people that you're judging, we start putting up expectations around these people, borders. This person initially seemed very nice to me, seemed like they were very they were on the fast track to success. They're going to have a ton of money, no problems. Or the opposite of that. We meet someone and they seem like an asshole and they have no future. Their path leads nowhere. And as you get to know these people, they start changing in your eyes. But there's a fundamental problem with that. You're only seeing the change from your point of view. You have not lived this person's life. You are not in this person's world 24/7. You do not see with these people's eyes. You do not walk with these people's feet. You do not feel with these people's heart. Their soul is theirs alone. And it cannot be determined fully what it is when each person in life, especially if they're woke and conscious of who they are on a quest to figure out the most about their soul every day before they die. And there's no easy task. So who are we on the outside to judge other people about how they are going to make their path the most successful or make their path the most destructive? We're not here to do that. We should be focusing on ourselves. And that's how I explain to people how I found a way to even get on the path of obtaining self-love for myself. It was me putting it in that context. I have to stop worrying about what other people think and just worry about me first. It doesn't matter if someone walks in the room and sees me and makes a judgment. Good for you. Hope you have fun with that reality show you created for yourself. Because it's a false reality show. It's not true. Whatever script you draw up about me, that's your script. And no two scripts will be alike. In actuality, no two scripts from yourself would be alike from day to day if you chose to judge me every day. Because if I'm doing things the way I like as a person, which is grow, I'm not the same as I was a few hours ago, let alone 2 days ago or years ago or decades. Self-love is knowing that and surrendering to the fact that you have every right to love yourself. People look at self-love as if it's some type of a weapon against them. They take it personally. They start saying to themselves, why am I putting up with this guy or girl's bullshit with their self-love crap? It's because they don't understand you are your own individual. You are your own individual. You must love others in a way where they feel free. And if you can't do that in any relationship, even with your children, if you can't love your children in a way where those children feel free and not controlled by you, you don't understand what self-love is. Self-love is not about control. It's about surrendering to who you are. You don't really have the responsibility to control yourself. You can't control what you don't understand. So if I can't understand what I'm doing in life each day, how can another person? I had to surrender after a while to the fact that I needed to stop feeling guilty for focusing on myself, for not caring, truly not caring what other people thought about me. That was an extremely tough thing to do because it required me trusting myself in ways that I've never explored before. This is all the makings of my wanting to figure out who I am in a way where it's to the point where I like not knowing everything about myself. Like I look forward to all the pieces I'm going to find about myself by exploring myself. And I can only do that because there's only so much time in a day. I can only do that by committing fully to the growth of myself. And in turn, if I had known this when I was younger, it would have been very powerful for me. It would have changed me in ways that I can't even explain, but that wasn't my path. I'm here now, and I appreciate everything that I didn't know back then. The good thing about self-reflection and understanding yourself and having self-respect is that it opens up you in a way to others that you never would have met previously. It's almost like you take the blinders off. It's almost as if, that's why we call it being awakened. You wake up, you start to say, whoa, who is that person over there that I never would have paid two nanoseconds of attention to before I woke up and started working on myself? What is this place? What is that thing? You retain information better. Every single second has purpose behind it. And then it becomes a discipline thing. You start finding out your self-discipline starts to get better. People don't feel like you're out every day to try to put on a show or try to be something you're not, which a lot of people do. I know I did do that. I did it a lot because I didn't know who I was. So I had to act. I have to act like this. I have to act like that in this situation. And over the years, I started realizing that's exhausting. You can't keep up with that. You cannot keep up with that. That's like doing 2 or 3 different professional stage plays a day over and over and over again, and you're playing someone else. And you're only yourself doing the breaks. How do you think that's going to work out as far as exhaustion goes, as far as you've been there for other people? You're going to be spent. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually spent trying to keep up and act like that. I felt free when it was time for me to put down that act and put down the stage play and the screenplay and walk out the theater onto the street and start finding the right place for me, which was not near a theater of life, that other people got to show up and watch me play out a drama-filled tragedy right before their very eyes. It was only in those moments I started realizing that it doesn't matter what other people think about you. And I used to take it so personally. But now I don't have to take it personally. I have a choice to make. Every time somebody comes at me and I feel like there's a disagreement or there's something they don't understand about me or something I don't understand about them, my mind goes to, you don't have time for that. Why should you even care? You're not going to convince these people or anything different. That's not your purpose to do that. My purpose is to move forward and lead and be an example to my son and to myself that I'm not wasting my potential and my purpose. We always talk about potential. Potential is purpose. What are you doing? And you can talk it. You can talk it. You can talk it. You can walk it. You can walk in and walk it. Or can you combine those two and just live it? It doesn't matter to me if everybody on the planet likes me. What do I care? It doesn't matter to me if someone else doesn't understand me. That's not my problem. If I know what I'm doing and I feel comfortable with what I'm doing, that's all that matters. Because if I don't do that, those people aren't going to like me anymore if I'm some person who is unsure of himself. Those people that I care about, if I truly cared about what they thought about me, because that's completely different. Caring about somebody and caring about what they think about you is 2 different things. If I put myself in a space where all I do is react to what people think about me or what they say about me, that's putting me in a space where I'm letting other people basically rip shards of me out and create some monster out of me that doesn't even exist. Again, we're back in the theater. We're dealing with some creation that somebody else made up about you and made a character out of you. That's not reality. That's their reality. That's why you could pack a theater full of people and they can watch a stage play in front of them and half the people walk out hating it and the other half walked out loving it. Meaning you can't please everyone. So why try? Leave the show for the show, right? It's okay for everyone to walk on a disagreement about that because it's not real. A stage play shouldn't change your life when you walk out in a way where you get in the car and you say, honey, I want a divorce. Why? Because that stage play was so good. And I know you hated it. I mean, that's not, we go there for entertainment. Good, bad, the ugly. We get to walk out and say, hey, that was entertaining. Now I can get back to my life. Nice diversion there. Which is why I stopped watching the news so much. I used to watch the news all the time. I used to watch sports all the time. And I've dialed that back big time. Because there's all kinds of messages in there and things that create realities for people that aren't true. And if you watch that shit enough, you can't help to have some of that just creep in and kind of run a loop in your back of your mind. So I stopped doing that. I stopped listening to all the news I could get in the world every single day. wasting time in front of the television watching every single mundane basketball game when there's 82 games in the season. I should stop doing it. That doesn't mean I don't do it. Of course, I still watch the news occasionally. Of course, I still watch my games occasionally, but I pick my spots. And I'm not influenced by anything. Self-love allows you to do that in a way where it frees up time. And that's another big discovery I had from it that is really hard to apologize for. How do you apologize and be sorry and feel guilty about having more time to do things that you want to do? To have more time to show up for the people that need you to show up, that you're obligated to show up for. How is that a bad thing? It's a way of surrendering to a simpler form of life that has much more impact than if you was to be doing all these random things because you're trying to please every person that pops up in your life. When all you have to do is sit back and say, you know what? How can I make this situation simple, positive, and purposeful? That's self-love. For me, in my humble opinion, that's how I view it. And I've gotten to a place where I'm like, okay, let me just think about this for a second. And do I trust myself to know that whatever comes out of this thought, I know what I should keep and what I should throw away? And if I go down the wrong path, do I have the ability to recognize that before I get too far down that path, okay, I need to step back, or I need to hop off, or I got to reassess, or I need a teammate, I need something here. But I'm recognizing this is the wrong direction. It takes a flawed individual to even get to a point of thought like that. You have to go through every single flaw in your life that pops up. And there are so many, you'll lose count if you try to track each one every single day. So that process comes from a place of being flawed, of understanding what every struggle you have in your life, why it's there, understanding why it's there, and doing something about it to actively remove it. If it's a person who is just a dark cloud over you, positively finding a way to jettison that person. That doesn't mean you have to be rude. And that's another reason why I think a lot of people look at people with self-love, because they see a lot of as a bad thing. I mean, they look at people who have self-love and again, they turn it into, this person is a selfish, narcissistic asshole. They just stop talking to that person. But what they're not looking at is that, why did this person stop talking to that person? They don't ask that question. They just look at, this person stopped talking to me or her or him. After all those years, after all those memories, they just stopped. They never asked why. Because they would get an answer. I choose to. For reasons you may or may not understand, but it was my choice to remove this person from my life. And I don't owe you an explanation for that. I'm not obligated to do anything for this person. They're not obligated to be in my life. So what's the problem? That doesn't mean you don't value who that person is. It just means that person just simply is not a part of your purpose in life. And since we have no idea when we're going to check out of this life, having people that you know are purposeful in your life, that you're aligned with, that are woke just like you are, is extremely important. If they aren't bringing value to your life, or they're not invested in your life like you are in them, you have to ask yourself that question: why am I even wasting my time? It doesn't matter who this person is. You have to get to that point. And I struggled with that extremely hard. It was one of the biggest struggles in my life to get to the point where I don't need people in my life, especially if I am at a place where I don't even understand who I am, because it's already confusing enough. But when you start looking at it like, okay, life's a lot simpler than it has to be. Or it's so much more simpler than I'm making it. I can still have every challenge, because I love to challenge myself. And some people don't like that word, but I like that word in a very positive, healthy context. I like to push myself. I like to see what I'm capable of. And those are my choices. Those are the things that get me onto this podcast and I'm talking right now, because I'm pushing myself to always think outside of the box for myself. My soul craves that. And some people don't like it. But again, in a place of self-love, that is up to that person if they want to be a part of my life, if they can align. If we're aligned, it'll work itself out naturally. I follow Tao. Everything works itself out. Everything in life flows. There are things you just simply don't have any control over. It doesn't matter how bad I want something. It's either going to be there or it's not. The only thing I can control and create in my life is my focus, my potential. I know what I can and cannot do. Am I acting on it or am I wasting it? Those are the things I have to concentrate on, the things I can control. That's where I feel self-respect for yourself plays such a huge part in self-love. If you respect yourself enough, you won't have people in your life that don't respect you. That doesn't add up. How can you have self-love when you have people around you who don't respect you and don't love you, aren't invested in you? But you're doing all this for them. You're showing them all the respect in the world, all the love in the world, all the patience and understanding you can muster out of your body. But these people aren't reciprocating that. They're feeding off that, gaining all your positive energy and discarding you when they don't need it or when they don't want it. They're not surrendering to you as you are to them. And why should you be surrendering to them at all? You should be surrendering only to yourself. A positive person understands that. A negative, toxic person will try to turn that around on you. They always go and grab the mirror and they put it in front of themselves. Because they want you to see something different. They want to speak, but they want you to see your face, your body. They want you to be like them. They don't understand themselves. How dare you try to work on understanding yourself? They're making bad decisions. How dare you try to make good ones? You apologize for your mistakes. They're too good for that. They get to keep their secrets and their lies and all their flaws hidden behind closed doors. But how dare you try not to tell something private and discreet for yourself to them? As if you owe these people something. You don't. And that's what frustrates people when they have to deal with somebody who is woke and it truly in their purpose every single day, accepting themselves as people who have a positive outlook in life, have a positive energy, and they have positive goals and aspirations, and they're helping people and they're leading by example. People who don't understand that get offended, they get butthurt, they feel intimidated, they get frustrated because they can't get any answers from you because they're not asking the right questions. They want to know how you got like this, but they don't want to hear the answer. The moment you start to try to tell these people, hey, you got to trust yourself. You got to get rid of some things in your life to open up new doors. You got to really commit to the path that you're on. That is not going to be as easy as they think in the beginning when you're trying to turn your life around. It may be very hard, but you have to look at it and expect it and understand that if you really want something out of life and you feel like it's for you, that you were here to do this thing, suddenly all that turnaround stuff is not hard. It's a positive, joyful peacefulness that you find when that happens. And people are afraid of that. They don't know what that feels like. I know I didn't. But when you do it, when you finally get there and you say, whoa, this moment feels really good. Because I'm working on one aspect of myself right now. I'm working on this particular focal point. And that felt good to work on that. I wonder what else I could work on. It's not an immediate transformation. But one thing that is immediate is that in the moment, you can make choices that can put you just firmly on the path to get going. But people don't want to do the work. And those are the people I choose not to have in my life. Because I can't save them. I can't lead them. I can't help them understand what all this feels like. They have to go explore and surrender to the fact that they have to figure out their own purpose. They have to figure out their own path. No one grabbed me and said, Michael, wake up. I had to grab myself and say, Michael, wake up. This is how we get through life. choices, when those crossroads come and you have decisions to make about people, places, and things in life, the choices you make are going to be the reason why certain people are going to stick around and some people are going to run for the hills. Now you have the responsibility for yourself to figure out why these people made the decisions that they did, and are they aligned with who you are? If the people who want to stick around, who are these people? The people who ran, who are those people? Because you're looking at everything through your eyes. Self-love. Why apologize for wanting the best for yourself? Why apologize for making decisions that you trust will be best for you? Why apologize for that? It's your life. You don't owe anyone anything. They're making their choices. Their failures have nothing to do with you. You don't have to be a person that takes on the weight of the world to feel as if that is something that you need to do to really have self-love. Because I think a lot of people think that if you have self-love, that means you're accepting of everything. That's not what that means. It means you're a lot less accepting of things than people realize, which makes life simple and very purposeful, because you're not cluttered with a bunch of stuff going on in your life every day. You wake up and you can see everything. You know exactly what you need to do. That's self-love and self-discipline and self-control of yourself. You don't have to worry about being in a situation where many bad things are going to happen to you or negative things are going to happen to you. You're saying, I already know what I need to do. And you don't waste time. You get on it. You understand what you have to do and you stand in it. And if people don't understand that, unfortunately, you have to make a decision about those people too. Life is going to throw curveballs at you. And when they come, are you at bat or are you still warming up and the ball is going to hit you right in the side of the head? It's time for you to step up at bat if you don't have self-love and start figuring out how to play the game, so to speak. Because life is going on all around you, regardless of what decisions you make for yourself. Other people are still doing their thing. So that alone should make you say, okay, what am I doing? Everybody else is doing stuff. Good, bad, they're doing stuff. What am I doing? I'm just standing still. I'm not doing anything. You got to do something. You got to make a decision. You got to trust yourself. The answer is right there. It's looking at you right in the face. You just have to have the strength to understand, okay, there's the answer. Now, what do I do to make this a reality in my life? How can I create a positive situation out of what I'm seeing in front of me? People may not like it. People may get upset. People may not understand. That's their problem, not yours. You owe them no apology for the choices that you make if it's coming from a place of positivity, purpose, self-love, and peace for yourself. If your decision is going to put you at peace, that's your decision. You have to live with it. That is the risk we all take with any choice. We don't know how they're always going to turn out. But we can say, I made this choice out of positivity, out of peace and joy and purpose of myself, for myself. And how this plays out came from a positive place. It came from a positive place. And I've noticed that when I do that, usually positive things come out of it because it started with positivity. It's hard to grow negativity out of positivity. Really hard. I mean, you would have to try really, really hard to sabotage your own positivity if you started growing in a way where you're positive and all of a sudden you end up a negative, toxic person. Something happened along the lines in there where you lost sight of who you were, because it always goes back to you. You shouldn't feel sorry for who you are. You are not a victim. You made your choices. You have to live with them. They carry weight. But they don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be scary or frustrating. It can be a positive thing. If you can view your choices out of what's the most positive thing I can bring out of this choice? What's the most peaceful thing I can make out of this decision? What can I create out of this positivity and this peace and this joy that I have in my heart? How do I keep it right here, centered and balanced? Being centered on that thought alone is what's helped me find self-love and not feel sorry or tell other people, hey, I'm really, I know I used to be a certain way and I'm really sorry you don't understand me, but, I don't care what people think. You have to do what's best for you. And if you're feeling at peace with a certain thing, now always going to come times where you're going to have a little uncertainty and people are going to get in your mind and they're going to make you feel like you made the wrong decision. They're going to make you feel as if you should not be doing what you're doing. I don't care who it is. No one has the right to tell you that. If you feel like in your heart and your mind, it came from a place of innocence and peace and joy that you get from your life that only you understand because you're living your life. These people have to go live their lives. We can all take in information from other people. We can all be influenced by other people and inspired and motivated, but the passion that you have in your life is going to come from you. Your purpose comes from you. That is your task. That is your job to figure out what you were created for, why you're here, what you're supposed to be doing, who's supposed to be in your life and who's not, what you're supposed to have, where you're supposed to live. All these things are on you. Has nothing to do with any other person. You want to have a conversation about what you should do in life? You can have it all the time you want. Go stand in front of a mirror and have the conversation. Have the conversation. Be honest about your flaws. But don't you dare apologize for wanting peace, joy, and happiness in your life for yourself. Don't apologize for that. Don't be afraid to go out and get what you want. Don't be afraid to tell people how you feel, what you feel you were here for. Never be afraid of that. Never apologize for your existence. Never apologize for your purpose. Never apologize for your peace and your joy, your journey, your path, the things you've overcome, the goals you make, the aspirations you have. Why apologize for any of that if you are at peace with yourself and you know you're enjoying life and you're at a place in your life where every decision you make comes from a place of this is what's best for me, and the happier I am, the joyful I am, the most peaceful days that I have, the people around me who are closest to me are going to benefit from that. There are rewards all around when you love yourself. Other people benefit from it. Be drama free. Be drama free. People who don't have self-love are full of drama. Again, back in that theater, on that stage, are you acting in life or are you living your life? Which one are you doing? Which one will bring you peace? Memorizing lines to be something that you aren't or someone you aren't? Or throwing the script away and saying, that's entertainment, that's fun, that's not reality. I'm me. I love myself. That's my story. That should be your story. And you never need to apologize for having love, peace, joy, and purpose in your life that equals happiness. That's the best story any person could hope for in life. And that's your story. Your story has been written every single day by you only. Your mission for this episode, for this day and the days going forward, is to focus only, deeply, powerfully, full of purpose, full of joy, happiness, and peace, to focus on you. To focus on you. Each day. As many times as you need to. Go back to that well and take as many drinks as you possibly have to from that well of joy, peace, and happiness. That's essential to your growth. It's essential to see your own flaws, to see if you're truly holding yourself accountable, to see if you truly trust yourself, to see if you're owning up and to your obligations. Are you wasting your purpose? Ask yourself these questions. Dive deep into who you are and surrender to the fact that it's okay to focus on you. That it's okay to accept your purpose in life, no matter how strange it may seem to someone else. No matter what stories people make for you, that's your mission. Is to trust you. To continue to grow. Not only as an individual, but as a person with a soul. Your body is just a vessel. It's just a vessel. We don't know where we're going to go after it's time for us to check out. But while we're here, let's assume that wherever we're going after we check out, our soul is going to be there. And maybe we're cultivating that right now. So your mission is to cultivate the best version of yourself each day. Each day. There are no days off. There are no days off when it comes to your purpose and why you're here. You are here for a reason. And life shouldn't be complicated. It should be simple, fun, happy. A place where you can have an adventure on your journey. This is your day. You are here now. These are your moments. You own them. You are brave, bold, powerful. You do believe in yourself. You know you have more in the tank. You know the glass is half full. There is still more room for improvement. There is no end. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. You do believe in yourself. You do believe you can do whatever it takes to get the job done. You don't procrastinate. You don't embellish. You don't lie. You're true to yourself. Peace is in your mind. Peace is in your heart. Peace is in your body. It is definitely in your soul. You are greatness. You have purpose. Intentful purpose. You are here for a reason. You are ambitious. You are loving. You are kind, empathetic, compassionate. You are self-love. You have self-control, self-respect. You are joy, peace, freedom, happiness. You are connected to everything in this world and in this universe. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up.